Hello everyone, this is Ankishi and here we are going to study about the carbon cycle, right? Carbon cycle is a type of nutrient cycle or also called as biogeochemical cycle. Nutrient cycle or biogeochemical cycles are required to maintain the availability, to maintain the continuity of the particular element onto the earth or into the atmosphere. Elements as like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, etc. elements are required for the living organisms' metabolic activities and also for their own construction, right? So here we are going to study about the carbon cycle. Carbon is found in the atmosphere in the gaseous form, which constitutes about 0.03% of the atmospheric gases, right? And it is also present in the terrestrial ecosystem as dead plants and animals. It is present in aquatic ecosystem as like zooplanktons and phytoplanktons, in the non-living system as in rocks, oceanic sediments, and in volcanic eruptions. Carbon cycle, that is the carbon cycle is a movement of carbon or transfer of carbon from one form to another. That is, carbon gets transferred from one form to another, from another form to another, and it will back to its original form. It will back to the point from where it began. So this is the carbon cycle. Carbon cycle is of two types. The first one is long term carbon cycle and the second one is short term carbon cycle. A long-term carbon cycle, also known as slow carbon cycle, because it requires millions of years to get completed. Then how it starts? The long-term carbon cycle, it begins when the atmospheric carbon dioxide gas mixes with the water, with the rainwater. Rainwater and carbon dioxide mix together to form the carbonic acid H2CO3, which is a weak acid, which when falls on the rocks, it causes chemical weathering of the rocks. Ions such as calcium, potassium, magnesium, sodium will flow out with from that rocks from those rocks, and those ions will get transferred from rocks to river and from river to the ocean, right? So in this way the ions, due to chemical weathering of the rocks, will be released by the rocks and will reach into the ocean. In the ocean, calcium will mix with the carbonate and will form calcium carbonate, and that will get settled at the bottom of the ocean. This is called calcification. The formation of calcium carbonate is known as calcification, and it is performed by various calcifying organisms as like oysters and some phytoplanktons also. With this calcium carbonate, the zooplanktons and phytoplanktons present in the ocean, the living organism whichever present in the ocean, when they die, they also get settled at the bottom of the ocean and they will form layers and layers. And after millions of years, due to temperature and pressure, that whole layer will that sediment will converted into the sedimentary rock due to high temperature and pressure, right? So that sedimentary rock that get transferred from the bottom of the ocean to the volcanoes, and when the tectonic shifting of the plates occur, when the tectonic plates shift, right? When the tectonic plates shift due to high pressure, that molten rocks, that sedimentary molten rocks, that comes out with high pressure and it causes volcanic eruption. The molten rock will flow out from the volcanoes and a gaseous mixture will also come out with that. Carbon dioxide will be a part of that gaseous mixture, right? Carbon dioxide will also come out with that gaseous mixture, and now this carbon dioxide will again become the part of the atmosphere. So in this way the long-term carbon cycle completes, right? Now the second one is short-term carbon cycle, also called as fast carbon cycle. It is called as fast carbon cycle because it requires lesser time to get completed. It do not require millions of years to get completed. Now in short-term carbon cycle, the atmospheric gases get assimilated by the photosynthetic plants, right? They convert that atmospheric carbon dioxide into their food, into their glucose, into their starch, whichever food they want to create, right? Into their carbohydrate they will convert. Carbon dioxide got assimilated by the photosynthetic plants, that will get converted into a carbohydrate. Basically you know it by the name glucose, right? But it is not the compulsion that only glucose will be created. There are formation of carbohydrates, so there could be any carbohydrate, but yes, we prefer glucose, right? So there will be the production of plant food. That plant is acting as a primary producer. When this plant will die, that carbon will again become the part of atmosphere. How it will become? When it will die, there will be some microbes which will cause decomposition of that plant, and those microbes will participate in the degradation of that plant, and they will release those and they will also they will eat that plant as their food, and they will release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere as a byproduct, right? uh, from that plant, that carbon can get when it is living, that get transferred to consumers: primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, and quaternary consumer, right? Primary consumer is insect, secondary consumer frog, tertiary consumer snake, and quaternary consumer will be eagle, right? So in this case, everyone, when it is going to die, it will get decomposed by microbes into the onto the earth. And when microbes are digesting, when microbes are feeding on that on that particular food, on the particular dead organism, they firstly convert, some microbes will convert the polymer of that compound, polymer of those living organism into monomers. There will be some other organisms which convert monomers to further elemental form, right? As for example, if there is a cellulose, that will get converted into glucose at first, because cellulose is homopolysaccharide of glucose. So that glucose will be further break down, right? Will be further broken down into the elemental form, that is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And then carbon will again become the part of the atmosphere. So here the short-term carbon cycle will also get completed, right? uh, there are some microbes which are responsible for this cycle. Of course, if we take example of cellulitic microbes which cause degradation of cellulose, there are many things which are needed to be, which are required to get digested. But we are let's take an example of cellulitic microbes, right? So in the cellulitic microbes, there the first one I'm having cellulitic bacteria, and the second one is cellulitic fungi. Cellulitic bacteria, example cell vibrio, and cellulitic fungi, that is trichoderma and fusarium. These are three species, these are three genus that I have written over here. These microbes have some cellulitic enzymes which play a role in the digestion of the cellulose of plant leaves, right? Because every organism, every microbe is not able to digest cellulose. Even if we talk about humans, so humans do not also have capacity to digest cellulose, right? Only some animals have the capacity to digest that cellulose, right? So in the same way, all microbes are not able to digest cellulose, but there are some microbes which are having cellulitic enzymes, will degrade, will digest that particular plant cellulose. And when that cellulose will converted into monomer, that is glucose, that will get further decomposed, that will get further utilized by some other microorganism. And at last, the elemental carbon will be elemental carbon, or you can say in the form of carbon dioxide, that will be eliminated into the atmosphere. There could be example of some methanogens which also participate in this process. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you. If you have any queries, you can ask me in the comment section.